I saw this guy Gerd Ludwig speak one time. He was like an old Nat Geo guy. And someone in the audience asked, how do you get in with them? And he was like, well, you don't find them, they find you. And that's actually what happened. I was speaking to a family friend, Susan Hitchcock. I don't think I knew she was an editor at Nat Geo Books, but we were just talking about some of the skate travels I had done. She was like, yeah, do you think you have enough material to do a book? And so I was like, yeah, well, I guess there's enough material there for a book. I hadn't really thought about it. So years went by and I randomly met up with the Levi's skate park building program when I was in India. Was fortunate enough to be hired to shoot their next job in La Paz, Bolivia the following year. And so while I was on that job, I asked, what they thought of the book and that they would be interested in sponsoring it. And it was just like, yeah, why not? Pretty much just started rolling fast from there. There's about 20 contributors to the book. Mike Blayback, Joe Brook, Mike Burnett. I'm not gonna name them all, but it was a pleasure to work with them. I think the travel bug came in different iterations. Probably one of the craziest trips I've been on to this day was my dad and I went with some family friends. We met them on their boat and then we sailed up the coast of the Yucatan. We almost got run over by an oil tanker. Like missed us by like 100 feet or something. It's like those kind of like thrilling moments that happen when you're traveling. That's kind of like what makes you want to go back for more. And then skating came along shortly thereafter. When I picked up a camera, obviously the first thing I shot was my friends skating, because that's what I was doing all the time anyway. I think even on the first roll of film in high school, from the first class that I took, there's like a couple photos of skating on there. The first real skate trip was right after college. Two of my friends and I, we saved up our money and we got in my '84 Camry and drove cross country for a month. And I think we had $500 each. And my idea was to shoot all the pros that we were sure to meet and pitch the story to Slap. And of course we didn't meet any pros. And the article didn't run, but that was definitely like a pretty heavy trip. I grew up in the sticks. There was nothing to skate. And so I had to drive everywhere to skate. And the kind of road trip aspect of skating, exploration, that's what it's always been about for me, like finding spots. The Amazon was pretty nuts. We skated cities that were along the Amazon River. There's three main urban hubs, Belém, Santarém, and Manaus. And so we took boats between them. That was kind of like, well, how can we just take a normal skate trip and then make something more of it, make it more of an adventure? You know how skateboarders view the world if you're watching this. So you kind of feel like you're in the natural environment. You're not a tourist. Most people, they get shuttled around from their hotel to the site and back, and they don't really actually see the place at all. The title of the book came about, I guess, kind of naturally. The original editor that I spoke with about the project was Susan Hitchcock, and we were emailing back and forth, and I think I just started calling it Skate the World Project without knowing what the title was, and then it just kind of was like, actually, that's a pretty decent title. What does the book mean for skating at large? I hope it will kind of make the general public accept it a little bit more. We all have a renegade kind of mentality, most of us do, which is inherent in skating. And I don't want that to go away, but at the same time, no one likes getting kicked out of spots for no good reason, and maybe the book will help alleviate that, especially in this country, which is kind of where you get kicked out the most. I don't know, only time will tell, I suppose.